And so, again, because the gentle lady from Georgia, I know is such an advocate for women's rights, as she mentioned, and is so concerned about grooming, and apparently we don't have any standards here anymore. Again, I just want to remind my colleagues, because, you know, I don't want them to forget about hypocrisy, okay? I don't want them to forget about hypocrisy. But, you know, Donald Trump was asked about Jeffrey Epstein, and when he was asked, he said, you know, Jeffrey likes him young. Well, how did the president know that? How did he know that Jeffrey Epstein likes him young? Perhaps some people are saying he was there, since you're so concerned, right? But again, I bring this up not to make jest. I bring it
Point
up,
of order, Mr. Chairman.
I bring it up. I thought we weren't going to interrupt.
We're going to stop the clock. We did this with Ms. Greene. State your point.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the impugning of the former president's character. That
I don't have to do that. He does. But one of the things that I find fascinating, but also very telling of the Florida Supreme Court, is that the three newest justices, the three newest people onto the court, three women appointed by the governor, all voted for the 6-week abortion ban, but then voted against letting the voters decide. So they voted to negate what voters in 1980 did. Okay, they said those voters were wrong, and then wanted to deny today's voters the ability to weigh in. And that's not just telling on this issue, it's telling for where the Supreme Court is going. That the Florida Supreme Court now has a tilt to the right, a more extremist view with the three newest people in a 4-3 decision. That's how close the decision was to allow voters to decide. So obviously we're stuck in this moment, but also the concern about where this court is going should another justice retire and the governor get another appointment. So I think that bears notice. It also bears notice that those justices are also on the ballot for retainment. So if the voters also want to show their displeasure to those justices for their vote, they could also weigh in November.
Without objection, these letters will be entered into the record. Chair now recognizes Ms. Greene from Georgia for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to express in the strongest words possible that I support the police, and we should be supporting the police here in our nation's capital, because it's our nation's capital that has one of the highest murder rates in our country, one of the worst crime records in our nation's history, and is an absolute embarrassment to our country. I'd also like to remind everyone that one of our own colleagues was carjacked months ago here in Washington, D.C. We also just had a former Trump admin official die because he was shot here in our nation's capital. And many Hill staffers themselves have been attacked just walking the city streets. This is an ongoing crime epidemic here in our nation's capital, and it's appalling. We should be supporting police officers, not attacking Americans' gun rights, while all of us walk around under the protection of good guys with guns. Capitol Police carry those AR-15s and guard all of us, but yet Democrats would love to take away the gun rights of American citizens and blame guns that never get up by themselves and shoot people. Murder is already a crime. People kill people, and they don't just kill them with guns. They kill them with knives. They kill them with fists. They kill them with objects. They strangle them. But yet I just listened to one of my colleagues say that we need to disarm Americans in order to somehow stop crime in Washington, D.C. We should
Will the gentlelady yield?
No, I will not. We should be protecting and supporting police officers. I also heard President Trump come under attack once again because Democrats have nothing else to say to defend their own policies but attack President Trump. I'd like to remind everyone that it was Antifa, BLM, by the way, supported by Democrats. BLM as an organization raised millions and millions of dollars on Act Blue, the Democrat fundraising site. And then BLM riots across America that were endorsed heavily by Democrats and apologized and said mostly peaceful protest by media who are totally defending Democrats constantly. These riots caused $2 billion in damage across America. I'd also like to remind everyone that in 2017, when President Trump was inaugurated, that rioters nearly burned down Washington, D.C. That's right, nearly burned down the city here. But oh, we've got to attack President Trump every single day. You know, it was also Democrats that said things like, I don't know why there aren't uprisings everywhere. That was our former Speaker of the House. Our current Vice President, before the election of 2020, said, we will not stop. We won't stop. Talking about these BLM riots. Also, one of our Democrat colleagues is on video. By the way, all of this is on video, their statements. And she was talking about Trump supporters, and she said, when you see them, you make a crowd, surround them wherever they are. These are the statements that come from our Democrat colleagues, but they want to attack President Trump every single day and take away police officers' ability to stop criminals and arrest criminals and protect our city streets, our community streets, and our nation's capital. And I'm sick and tired of it. It is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, Mr. Chairman, I would like to say I support the amendment that you just spoke on and introduced. And I would urge my colleagues to pay attention very carefully. The American people are paying attention, and they're not stupid. Just because you have a little microphone you can talk in doesn't mean that you can sit here and lie to the American people every single day. They can read the crime statistics. We all know you can't walk around this city without being in danger of being robbed or carjacked or murdered maybe. My goodness, how horrible is that? So let's support our police officers. Let's vote for good things to help citizens in this city. And Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Will the gentleman yield for a question?
No, I will not yield to one of your stupid questions that are always attacking me and attacking President Trump.
How about a mediocre question?
No, I don't want to. I do not want
an
your
excellent question.
No,
a smart question.
No, my time.
An intelligent question.
You have no smart or intelligent questions.
Chair now recognizes Dr. Fox from North Carolina for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much.
By the way, they don't want to solve this issue either. Again, don't listen to me. Just listen to the speaker, who was caught on a call the other day saying that we can't solve the border crisis until after the election. By the way, here's Congressman Troy Niels giving it all away. Giving it all away. Let's read this. Let me tell you, he's talking about immigration. Let me tell you, I'm not willing to do a darn thing right now to help a Democrat, to help Joe Biden's approval rating. I will not help the Democrats try to improve this man's dismal approval ratings. I'm not going to do it. He's saying he's not going to do anything on the border. And he's from Texas, which needs help. He's not going to do anything because he doesn't want to give Joe Biden a win. You have members of this committee that have threatened to vacate the speaker again if they do anything on the border. Senator John Thune has said this is a unique opportunity. He said when Trump was president and Republicans controlled both chambers, they couldn't get done the policies that are being discussed now. So look, I'm willing to do stuff on the border. I'm willing to do it. But they're not willing to do it because they're doing what people hate about this place. They want to use it to raise money. They want to use it to politicize it. But they don't want to solve the issue. There's a deal on the table. They can solve the issue. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So we are about to begin the impeachment inquiry debate. And my colleagues, my Republican colleagues, are going to show you how important it is to them. They're going to show you how much evidence they have supposedly uncovered. They're going to show you how serious of an issue they think this is. And you want to know why? Because as soon as we take this vote today, you know what they're going to do? They're going to break for 3 weeks. They're going to run out of this place and leave for 3 weeks, even though it's so important and it's so overwhelming. And it is, the nation must be focused on this, that they are going to run away and leave Washington for 3 weeks. It's because there's no evidence on Joe Biden. The only thing they have uncovered is that Joe Biden is the father of Hunter Biden. That's it.
Mr. Chairman. Chairman Comer, we share an interest in effective management of the Federal Employees Health Benefits FEHB program and in delivering the best low-cost health care possible to Americans. I chair the Committee on Education and the Workforce, of which you are a member, and we've spent this Congress focused intently on improving transparency in health care and addressing the practices of pharmacy benefit managers, PBMs, in order to deliver lower health care costs to patients and plans. That's why I'm proud of the House's broad bipartisan support for the Lower Cost, More Transparency Act, legislation that will give employers the information they need to make informed health care purchasing decisions on behalf of their employees. And I look forward to continuing to work with our Senate colleagues to enact it this year. As a conservative, I'm always hesitant to invoke the powers of the federal government, particularly to intervene in private business ability to design their own contracts and determine fair compensation for their services. Overreach is all too easy, and I'm particularly concerned with such interventions in the commercial health care market. Congress does have a unique responsibility to ensure the FEHB program delivers the highest quality and lowest cost for federal workers. Tweaks to that program can reveal the consequences of proposals that some may desire to expand more widely. That is precisely what is before us today. The application of H.R. 6283, the Delinking Revenue from Unfair Gouging Act, or the Drug Act, to the FEHB program. The bill applies 3 significant changes to contracting for prescription drugs by FEHB plans: delinking, a spread pricing ban, and an anti-steering provision. Delinking is intended to ensure that there's no incentive for a PBM to select a higher list price drug in lieu of a lower net price drug. We want to ensure that PBMs share the same incentives to deliver the lowest net cost to the plans they serve. We also must ensure bureaucrats do not have too much authority to dictate how PBMs can be compensated. It's particularly important to tread carefully on spread pricing and on anti-steering provisions that may take away plan sponsors' ability to lower cost. Employers who act as fiduciaries and benefit providers for their employees deserve to have a full array of tools available to design their plans to benefit patients and keep premiums low. All of these changes are motivated by good intentions, but it's extremely important to move cautiously and avoid unintended consequences. While I'm aware that the Office of Personnel Management has stated that these reforms may reduce drug spending and premiums in the FEHB program, I believe it's important that the Congressional Budget Office share its analysis of the full financial impact of the legislation in short order. It's also very important that, as this language applicable to FEHB is considered, there are additional efforts to ensure the text is perfected to address potential areas of improvement. I'm aware that there is too little free about the healthcare market in America. My North Star is restoring free market incentives and ensuring that the employer-sponsored healthcare so many Americans value is on a stable foundation for the future. Out of a willingness to work with Chairman Comer on giving a trial to these policies in the unique FEHB market, I am voting today to support H.R. 6283. I'm open to additional good faith discussions with all stakeholders on each of the 3 pillars of this legislation, but believe significant more study is necessary before any consideration of similar reforms in the commercial market. It's vital that Congress enact PBM transparency legislation. The lower cost, more.
You know, when my Republican colleagues cozy up to neo-Nazis and the Proud Boys and white supremacist groups.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman, I find that offensive that the gentleman would make a broad statement like that, and I think that he should back that up with any individual, but not a broad group. That would be inappropriate for me. And find it offensive that you have used this forum.
Sure, no problem. Donald Trump had dinner with a Holocaust denier at his house. You want more facts? But don't worry. I want to make this committee bipartisan, because this is a bipartisan issue. Anti-Semitism is bipartisan. And there is plenty of bipartisan silence of what's happening to Jews in this country on the left. Gas the Jews, kill the Jews, glory to the martyrs, celebrating Hamas killing of innocent people at GW last night, my alma mater. Glory to the martyrs, glory to the people that raped women, that killed babies in their cribs. Glory to those people. Both parties are failing because, you know what? Each of them have no problem calling out anti-Semitism when the other side does it, right? The Republicans will call out the squad. Democrats will call out, Republican members when they say, Jews and space lasers. No. We have no problem doing it on the other side because that's easy, super easy to criticize the other side. No, but it is much harder to do it when it's within your own ranks. Much harder to do it within your own ranks. That's when we see the silence. And so, I'll conclude, Mr. Chairman. Jews have often wondered why it took so long for people to come to their aid during the Holocaust, why millions of people were slaughtered before people came to their aid. Now we know. Now we know why it took so long. And we also now know, because we see it in this country, in the streets and in the halls of Congress, we now know who those people are who wouldn't come to our aid now.